Tom Izzo's 85 minutes of reflection following Michigan State's Final Four loss. Minneapolis. Nobody could find Tom Izzo's backpack. Several Michigan State staff members searched the locker room and the various connected rooms. Izzo was holding court with reporters, but he'd stop talking eventually maybe? At which point he'd need to exit US Bank Stadium for good. But not without his bag. Izzo had just coached in his 8th national semifinal and lost for the 6th time. So he knew what to expect once the final buzzer sounded at 10:07 p.m. CT. As the winning head coach this time, Texas technicians Chris Beard addressed the media from a dais. Izzo was in an adjacent hallway with two of his players, Cassius Winston and Matt McQuaid. Behind closed doors, across from a table with soda cans and NCAA-approved cups, they sat on a black leather couch. Just outside, those affiliated in any way with Texas Tech, whose men's basketball program was appearing in its first ever Final Four, celebrated the 61-51 victory. "This is not a dream," one person said. On the dais, the moderator dismissed Beard. "Coach, we'll see you again tomorrow." Izzo and his players took his place. "Very seldom in my career have we kind of got outbeat up," Izzo said. And tonight was one of those nights. At 10:46, McQuaid took a seat on the rear-facing bench of an easy-go golf court and rode back to the locker room. A media relations staffer did most of the talking in the 100-yard ride, smiling and patting McQuaid on the back. McQuaid, a senior who'd just played his last game at Michigan State, stared at the carpet, expressionless. Izzo continued to field questions at the dais, saying that he could tell early on that Michigan State was in trouble and felt fortunate to be down just 2 at halftime. He talked about the Big Ten's title drought and Matt Mooney's incredible shooting. He put the game in the simplest of terms: they made some plays. We didn't make some plays. We missed some shots. Back in the Michigan State locker room, the players were subdued but not sullen. There were few, if any, tears. Players handled the defeat with class, crediting Texas Tech and answering every question. Longtime staffer Doug Herner doled out hugs. Freshman Gabe Brown opened a prepared meal, ignoring the broccoli and rice to take a bite out of a burrito, only to immediately question the choice. Nick Ward teased him about a particular defensive play during which Brown apparently almost rolled his ankle. Walk-ons, without the distraction of reporters' questions, scrolled through their phones. Izzo appeared, asking nobody in particular, "Where am I going?" before getting ushered to a BTN interview in a space between the stadium hallway and the locker room. "We got every inch out of this team," he said, later adding, "I had a hell of a time this year." Players left the locker room, sneakers in hand, commemorative posters sticking out of their backpacks. Most had several days' worth of security tags on their bags, different colors for different days. They had hoped to add 2 more to the collection, but Texas Tech and Virginia earned that right. Izzo emerged at 11:13 and took his spot against a wall, a semicircle of reporters in front of him. Steve Mariucci, Izzo's good friend from their childhood days in Iron Mountain, in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, showed up. "Is that Izzo?" he asked, unable to see the coach in the middle of the scrum. Wearing a green Michigan State zip-up sweatshirt, he talked about how every team but one leaves this tournament disappointed. He was in Chicago when these Spartans won the Big Ten tournament. He didn't go to Des Moines, Iowa, for the first 2 NCAA tournament wins, nor Washington, D.C. for the regional. He wanted to, but a nephew got married last weekend. "Who gets married in March?" he said. Izzo kept talking. "Boy, is he being patient," noted a security guard. "Anything else, guys?" a media relations staffer asked, hoping the answer was no. But the questions kept coming and Izzo, as usual, was content to answer them. After nearly 19 minutes of talking outside the locker room and nearly 40 consecutive minutes of answering questions, 85 minutes after the game ended, he was done. With team personnel still searching for his bag, Izzo spotted Mariucci, who lifted his right arm. He had Izzo's backpack all along. "I'll be your caddy," Mariucci joked as they walked the hallway towards the team bus, leaving the Final Four earlier than they'd hoped. It was a walk Izzo knew all too well.